Hello, I have some updates today about face coverings, isolation and quarantine periods for households, and of course, our active cases within the district. First, I want to talk about the face covering mandate. It continues to include face shields as an alternative face covering. However, I wanted to talk about face shields today. They need to obviously cover the mouth and the nose, extend below the chin, and go to the ears. There needs to be no gap on the top. So when I talk about gap, this is a gap right here, and no gap between the headpiece and the face shield would include something that looks like this. There's no gap between what touches your head and the shield in the front. So those are things that I wanted to talk about. This also does include, it eliminates the use of the mouth shields. Those offer no coverage. There is nothing that touches the face. It's gaps all the way around. So I wanted to talk about that. I'm going to attach again, the same document that goes over what's an allowable face covering. And I'm also going to include some pictures of what are considered approved face shields and what are considered not approved face shields. The inverted face shields, this is all a gap. It's all open. So those are no longer approved according to the face covering mandate. So please take a look at your child's face shields, and there's not many that wear them. So just take a look at them and take a look at the document of what is approved and not considered approved. The face shields, again, that are inverted, not approved. As I've mentioned in the past, face shields, there's little evidence on face shields and the protection, saying that they provide adequate protection. They are an alternative face covering, but face masks provide better coverage. And I strongly encourage the face masks over the face shields alone. And there are some that wear both. But please review the attachment, take a look at your child's face mask and face shields, and make sure that they are approved on the document, okay? A reminder about face masks on the bus. Please treat the bus as that first point of contact for school. The bus garage is reporting that they're handing out more and more of those yellow face masks to students that use them each day as their main source of their face mask. So they're laundered masks for emergency purposes in the event that a student forgets their mask. So I want you to make sure that you understand that there are cloth masks in all of our buildings. You can check with your building principal. If your child is in need of a face mask, please have them see the principal. We will be more than happy to provide that face mask for them that they can use daily when they come to school, rather than using those emergency masks for the buses. So update on that. I also wanted to provide an update that came from PA and Erie County Department of Health. There's no longer an option to do an in-home isolation. So if a member of your household is a positive or a probable case, the remainder of the house does not officially begin their quarantine until their isolation period ends. So a reminder that a positive or a probable isolates for a 10-day period, which means that everybody else in their household has a minimum of 20 days for their quarantine. So if anyone else becomes sick or goes and gets tested and they're positive, that period is going to be extended. So please realize, and I want to say this out loud, I am just as human as you are, and I realize this is a huge inconvenience. I realize that. But what I also want to point out is this is not debatable, okay? This is something that I need you to think of everybody outside of your own household. My role relies on all of the adults in our district being honest, and I ask that you think of those beyond. We're talking about the safety of students, faculty, staff, and all of their families as well. So please remember, the rest of the household does not officially begin their quarantine until after the positive or probable cases isolation ends. Thank you. I wanted to give a quick update on our one active case within the district, which we reported out just last evening. There is a Rolling Ridge student that would have been at school during the period which they would have been considered contagious. Their isolation period goes through the end of next week. And this information is as of 10 o'clock this morning. So obviously, if there's any changes, we'll communicate that out. That's really all I do have for today. I invite you to listen into the board meeting. There is one next Tuesday evening at 6 p.m. There may be some changes to our upcoming instruction mode as far as the coming weeks, and Mrs. Hess put that communication out last night for a potential full-time return for our elementary schools 4 days a week with a phase-in later for the junior and the senior high school. Much more information obviously will come if that decision is made, which will explain how our classroom layouts are going to be, additional mitigation efforts we're putting into place, and obviously we're going to have some videos from our classrooms for everybody to view. So I appreciate you listening as always. Take care, and I'll see you next week in March. Bye.